you've heard it said that your attitude will determine your altitude. Well, but how do you get your attitude? You know, your attitude really is nothing more than the sum total of your belief system. I want to talk to you today about 5 things that I want to share with you and then see if you'll share them back with me. I'd really love for you to ingest and believe in our 5 P's of success. The first P is partners. Recognizing there is no I in team, we are all partners together. You've heard me say that we don't use the word employees around here, but rather team members, signifying that you are a part of a greater group of individuals. And no matter what you talk about, if we talk about a football team, a basketball team, or a pit crew at the racetrack, all of those depend on the greater group of people, all performing, showing up together as one cohesive group. Even a boxer who appears to be in the ring alone is not. He's had a trainer, he's had a coach, he has an agent, he has that core group of supporters that encourage him. No, he is there as representation and the key representor and the key performer, but he's a part of a greater team that ultimately will determine how successful he is. So, the first P is partners. Recognize that you are part of the team. You're dependent on the team, and the team is dependent on you. The second P is professional. This has everything to do with how you look, showing up to work every day squared away. How you look, how you talk, what you communicate to those around you. You know, there's been some studies done that say 80% of your communication comes through something other than the words you speak. So being professional is far more than just how you look. It's how you conduct yourself in every way. Here at Water Blasting, we believe in being professional. Being professional doesn't mean that you show up in a 3-piece suit, especially if you're a welder or perhaps the janitor. But dressing appropriately for your role is essential to your success and essential to our success. They say you can't judge a book by its cover, but many times we do, and right, wrong, or indifferent, that's just the reality. I want us looking our best, and if people are making assumptions, I want them assuming that we're a fantastic group of people to work with. So make sure you eliminate foul or profane language from your vocabulary. Make sure that you're dressed appropriately for the role that you're in. And let's be professional. The third P is passionate. This is having and maintaining a spirit of enthusiastic determination every day, no matter what you're doing. I remember a few years ago, I challenged everybody here to become a motivational speaker. And I gave them a little homework assignment. I asked them to stand in front of the mirror every day and practice. And when the person looking back at you becomes extremely motivated and passionate, then you're ready to allow that message to rub off on those around you. You see, being passionate begins with you. I'm not sure that anybody trying to speak passion into your life is really going to be ingested and successful over the long term. You might feel a little momentary excitement and a momentary hope, but really what needs to happen is you need to explain for yourself why. Why am I doing what I'm doing? Why should I do it with maximum energy? In fact, sometimes the best way to answer the why question is ask why not? Why not give every day my best? Why not pour my entire self into with my whole heart no matter what I'm doing? And see what happens. One thing at least will happen is you'll prove to yourself, if to nobody else, the best that you're capable of being. I want for you, I want for us to live passionate lives, full of energy, full of enthusiasm about what we're doing. And when we do, that rubs off, it shows off, it exudes energy and confidence from others and propels us into being more of what we already are. And you know, how often do you find companies that can truly say they've become number one in the world? When you're part of this team, that's what you are. We now have more machines around the world than our 5 largest competitors put together. And I frequently get such great feedback about what happens not only before the sale, but after the sale. Recognize that to be a part of this team, we've got to be passionate and stay passionate. And that begins with you. The 4th P is preparedness. In order for you to perform well, which is actually the 5th P, you've got to be prepared. Being prepared has so many elements that it's impossible really for me to sum them up in this brief video. However, if you give thought to it, you're going to know your role better than anybody else, and you're going to be able to speak to yourself as to all the elements of preparation. Some critical ingredients of being prepared is being organized. If you're a mechanic, if I look inside of your toolbox and it's an absolute disaster, it looks like Hurricane Andrew showed up just to your toolbox. Actually, it would be more like a tornado, you know, the kind that show up and just affect such a limited area. But, you know, I'm going to make certain assumptions about how prepared you are to find the tool you need when you need it. Being prepared means that maybe, you know, you set 2 alarm clocks. If you have a habit of sleeping through one and maybe one fails periodically, maybe that means you set 2. Being prepared means understanding the traffic arrangement at the times of day you need to be to work. Being to work on time will require that you arrange your thinking relative to all of the elements of being to work on time. And really so much more than that. But being on time, being organized, having the tools of your trade at your fingertips so that you can do what you need to do in the time frame you need to do it in. The last of the 5 P's is performance. And really at the end of all this, the other 4 P's are really designed to support performance. At the end of it all, what happens? Your performance will be the result of your preparing, of your passion. And so what you want to do every day is measure. Find a way to measure what you're doing. It's often been said that what gets measured gets improved. But I'd like to add a twist to that. What doesn't get measured it can't be improved. How would you know? If you don't measure it, there's really no mechanism available to tell you whether you've improved or not. So if we're to be performers, we're going to have to implement systems and maintain systems of continual measuring, monitoring. Only through that will you be able to track and improve your performance over time. Imagine a golf course where there's no established par. How would you know if you didn't track the number of shots per hole and your overall number of shots over the entire course? How would you know that you improved? Other elements of being a performer require perseverance. Can you think of anybody that ever achieved greatness without perseverance? Practice, perseverance, committing, measuring, and improving your performance over time will be critical to your individual growth and to our collective growth. So, if we're going to continue our track record of being a great company, moving from goodness to greatness, we're going to have to reflect these values every day in our personal and our corporate MO. Thank you for being a part of our journey, and I'm looking forward to the contributions that I know you're going to bring to this amazing team.